All right, with Professor Gus, aka what?
Sexy legs.
So you thought it was Kevin's podcast?
I thought it was Kevin's podcast.
For all the interviews?
I was watching all of his videos last night. Like, how could I be funny today? You know,
Like the shorts, the little
the shorts.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Who were some of the people that were funny that you thought was?
Oh, he has
you
a
kept
lot
going, very good, right?
Yeah. And he has some serious ones too from Las Vegas. Yeah.
The kids ones. There's a kid named Jonah, and we're like pretty viral.
Right.
It's going pretty viral, right? It's still going. I get notifications, right? You see it too, like every day, like people, like big time people too.
Yeah.
Liking it or commenting on it. He's like, hey, Jonah's like 3 years old. You know?
Right,
He's like,
right.
what's your favorite thing about jiu-jitsu?
Yeah,
he
I
can
think
barely
I saw
speak.
that. Yeah.
And he's like, it makes you stronger, right?
Right.
And then he's like, what would you tell somebody new, like really wise, right? 3 years old.
Right.
Be brave, right? What would you say to your dad? Be super brave, right?
Right.
Oh my God. It's been, how many years have you been? Deep was downstairs. It was like 2009, right? Before we opened up Burbank, actually.
Yeah.
The OG, pre-OGs, right? The OGs.
Yeah, a few months after you opened Encino. Yeah. I think I shared the story with you. You know, I saw it on the
Underground or
the Underground forum.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. Jiu-Jitsu Underground forum, and I saw your name and Homelos, right? World champion, UFC fighter. When I saw that, because at that time it was only Machado.
In the valley.
Yeah, and I saw that. I go, man, I gotta join. I have to join.
You lived Northridge?
Granada Hills.
Granada Hills. Okay,
Yeah,
so you were already there.
Yeah.
You've been there for a long time.
Yeah. I've been in Northridge area since the late 90s. I went to college there. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Cal State Northridge. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Were you born in LA?
No. I was born in the Philippines.
Philippines.
Yeah. I was born in the Philippines, and my dad was in the military.
Military, that's right.
Yeah. Then we came here on a political asylum.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, Philippines. I was just talking to a friend, wrestler, world champion wrestler, and they've been putting out some Philippine national team for wrestling.
Oh, for wrestling.
Yeah, because of I think it's all the American Filipinos. They're like coming up in the American system of wrestling, and so then they're like, they're competitive and they like to compete and like to fight.
Right.
And so they're getting the right training, so they become like world class, right?
Right.
And then they want to represent, or they want to go international, and they're able to wrestle for Philippines.
Wow.
I think. Well, I'm seeing more and more now.
Right.
And he's been kind of making some jerseys and some gear.
Oh, wow.
Team Philippines, which is cool.
Yeah. So, Professor, is it freestyle or Greco?
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
The one that he's freestyle, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, I would think it'd be more freestyle for them.
Yeah.
Greco is Greco is more like Armenia and those countries, right?
Right.
But I think there's no this country or that country.
Right. Oh, but that's exciting, because the Philippines, we have a long history of fighters, right?
Yeah.
At least in boxing.
Boxing, yeah.
So they have that down. But they get the grappling game in there.
How big is Manny Pacquiao in Philippines?
Oh, he's more than a celebrity. He's kind of a god there. Think of your biggest celebrities here, right? Like a Michael Jordan, but even more than that. Because remember, he was also a senator. In the Philippines, it's a third world country, right? So once you get past a level of celebrity, you're more than just an athlete. Like, people were rooting for him as the face of the country, right?
Yeah. So many people, yeah. And how many kids started boxing and training in boxing? Right. Because of him.
Right.
I would think even in the combat sports, right?
Yeah, and he's Visaya, right? So that's a part of the Philippines in the south. But there is a lot of fighters coming from that area of the Philippines.
The south.
The south, yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's the more of the culture there. And again, I don't want to speak for that, but for some reason, there's a lot of fighters from the Visayas region, where he's from. Yeah, I speak his dialect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was born in Cebu, and that's a dialect there. But then I grew up in another part. But so I could tell the accent, and I could speak his dialect. Yeah, yeah,
I'd like to go visit the Philippines one day.
yeah, yeah.
I guess we were talking right about going for do it like we do it, go for a couple days and come back.
Right.
Yeah, but I'd like to go with the family and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I just know so many Filipinos, right?
Right.
Being here in LA now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think every day, all day, pretty much.
Right, right.
I didn't realize how many, because in the Central Valley, like Fresno area, you know, they look kind of Filipino, right? Like a lot of the wrestlers and stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, man, they look really like Asian, Filipino, but it's like very Hispanic. And
Right.
so I'm like, they're just Hispanic. And then I was watching that. Is it Caesar? No, Cesar Chavez is the
Oh
guy,
yeah, the hero.
the hero for
Yeah.
the farm
farmer
workers and stuff.
workers,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then they were showing how the Filipinos went on strike.
Right.
And so
Right.
then I was like, I did some research and I was like, wow, they had a big, huge, like San Francisco, and then a lot of them settled in the Central Valley
In Central Valley as farmers.
as farmers.
Yeah.
And like, oh wow, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like not random, but a little bit, right?
Right. Right. Yeah, I think that was the first wave of immigrants. They went to Hawaii. They went to the Central Coast as farmers. In fact, there's been some settlers as well in Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, in Mexico. There's a town in Mexico that actually celebrates Filipino celebrations. Yeah.
I think it was like Spanish American War. Was
Yeah.
it Spanish American War?
Yeah.
Something like that. I think maybe I'm twisting it up, but I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess besides the not even the Filipino, but even the currents, right? I think I went to Guatemala one time, and they
Yeah.
had these currents that go from like the Polynesia all the way to Central America.
Right. You mean the ocean currents?
The ocean currents.
Yeah. That's why it's been a trading stop. Yeah.
But just the Asian, because Asian, just the different looks, right? The different ethnicities, right?
Right. Yeah.
You think, oh, they came through the Bering Strait, but no, actually they came across the water.
Right.
Big old dudes, right?
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson looking guys, right?
Right. The Polynesians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Right.
To get across the ocean, you imagine that, just fishing and paddling,
Yeah.
the crazy storms and
Right.
currents, and to be
Right.
able to survive that, and how
Right.
strong and how tough you have to be.
Right. With no compass, no radar, right?
Just the
looking
stars,
at just
yeah.
the stars. Yeah.
Yeah. We have jiu-jitsu now to keep us
Keep us fit.
Fit,
Yeah,
yeah, and straight. Thank God for that, though, right? Thank God for that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Conor McGregor running for president of Ireland?
What do we think about Conor McGregor running for president?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think he's very popular.
You don't think he's the Manny Pacquiao of Ireland?
The Manny Pacquiao of Ireland.
That may be true.
I met a few people from Ireland,
Yeah.
and they always kind of bring up the stuff that him, the drama and whatever,
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah. The personal life.
Yeah.
But I guess all the politicians have all of that anyway, right? So,
They just hide it more.
Yeah,
Hide
yeah.
it better.
right.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what's good and what's bad?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he has the popularity. Yeah.
I mean, Trump became president, right?
Right.
Schwarzenegger became
Governor.
right?
Yeah.
If he was born in the U.S., he probably would have been president.
Right. Never know. Yeah.
What do you think? Good or bad?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know either. I don't know
yeah,
either.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I don't know either. We'll see how it plays out, right?
Yeah.
him even becoming, because he's trying to get on the ballots, right now.
Right.
So we'll see if that even happens, because everything's so political, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have the power, like the people in power, they don't want to, give up the power, and they want to keep it. They usually keep it in the same circles, right?
Right.
So I think that'll be maybe, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
But what he's done is phenomenal, right? He did what nobody really did before, right? Holding the two belts at the same time,
right?
Calling out these guys,
right?
Like, I'm going to do this to you this round,
right?
Again and again and again,
right?
Right. To his whiskey company, to his beer company, now,
yeah.
it's like we all know about it,
right?
We're all talking about it right now,
right?
What's his stout? Forge stout. Stout. Yeah, see,
I tried the whiskey.
and you wanna like, oh, it's cool because he's talking about it and because of his background, right?
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, his whiskey, that was different level stuff, right?
Yeah.
Putting on the UFC apron, like who like, that's different level, right?
Right. I mean, he was beyond a fighter,
Fighting Mayweather,
right.
And then the circus that he created around that.
Right. Yeah, and even with Khabib.
Calling the Showtime guy,
right.
Like what do you call him? Like a rat, or like a, I don't know, something like a worm. I don't know what he called him, but just his face, like a little rat, face like a little rat.
Right. But he knows how to hype it up, It's the controversy creates hype, right?
But I guess he was the Showtime promoter, and then when UFC, because I think Paramount owns Showtime, something like that, and so then Dana White didn't like that guy, and so he was when the UFC, whatever, they joined, the Paramount did the UFC deal, they're like, that guy wasn't coming, but you're part of the deal, and I think Dana White's like, yeah, nobody's gonna miss him,
Right.
But the fact that he just went in there, I think he was the president or whatever, high up. He's like, yeah, this guy, he looked like a rat, just like out of the rat. Right? You remember that? Because he was like the executive guy. To his face, like, you look like a little rat. What are you gonna do?
But see how the more you talk about him, it's like gets you going.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Mayweather. I mean, not Mayweather with the back and forth where they talk the smack.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like he was doing pretty good in the early rounds.
He was. Yeah, I think he won the first few rounds. Yeah, I mean, he was putting the pressure on Mayweather. Yeah.
Man.
And his training method too, right, Professor? He relied on movement, right? Because I saw a documentary about that, right? It's all about kind of the flow fit here.
Yeah.
It's all about body movement.
Yeah. Yeah, he's different level athlete, mental fortitude, right? Mindset training.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a fan.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I rooted for him.
How can you not be like with what he did?
Right.
Even the whole thing is like, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. This Irish guy with the hard Irish accent, fighting Irish, like, come on.
Yeah.
After his first UFC fight, he's like, I'm gonna get off the what do you call it? Off the dole, off the what do they call it? Welfare. I'm gonna get off the welfare.
Right. He called his destiny, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jose Aldo going
that one shot, right?
What's that?
He made him do that with mentality. He made him get emotional.
Yeah.
Can you imagine traveling with that guy? Like, all the stuff he did, taunted him over and over and over and over, and then the Jose Aldo backed out, or he got hurt or whatever.
Right.
Then he beat Michael Chandler for the interim, and then they finally fought.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because Michael, you could say it was a bad matchup because he could have taken him down and did some ground and pound or whatever, and won. A lot of things could have happened.
Right.
But he won.
Right.
And then they got finally got the fight of Jose Aldo.
Yeah. And
he called it out. And then, sure enough, he got him emotional, reached out, overextended.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he had the mind game. He had the mind game.
Man, did you see that the the behind. What do they call it? It's kind of like HBO. The behind the scenes, like the vlogs, right? Where he went to Brazil and he's throwing like darts at his face, you know, and like a cutout magazine.
The
thing.
cutout magazine, yeah.
And then he eats his like you're good you were era
Right.
you know? In Rio de Janeiro.
Psych them out.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man. That's what we want. That's people want. Like you love. Like you can be the like people like love you, right? Or the heel, right? Like
Right.
Chael Sonnen, like the heel. And so, man, like that's entertainment, right? Then
Right.
you want to see it. You want to see the guy win, or you want to see the guy get his butt kicked.
Right. Right. But you watch.
You watch.
But you
That's
watch.
what you want to watch.
Right. And that's the business of the fight game, right? Yeah.
Like CGI this week, right? I mean, the thing with the teams wasn't good, but still the hype and just the entertainment part was amazing.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But did you watch CGI?
No. I only watched the Carver fight with who was that? Who's someone's daughter, Professor?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Galvan.
Yeah.
She's gonna be coming here, I think, October 11th.
Oh, nice.
Kevin sealed the deal.
Oh, wow.
Women's
Wow.
only. Sorry, guys.
Wow. So I can't.
We
can't be-
can watch maybe on the side, right?
Right. But that was the matchup that I was
Maybe you
looking
can put a
for.
wig on and like,
Right.
We might buy a few wigs.
Let's do it.
You can turn it off. It's okay.
You can edit. You can edit it.
Yeah, it's not big. We're yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
You're not the president of the Philippines.
Not yet. Never know, man. October 11th.
How did you get into like National Guard? Why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, so Professor, I come from a long list of military. So my grandfather was actually a guerrilla, Philippine guerrilla fighting the Japanese.
Damn.
Yeah, and then my dad was in the military, my uncle was in the military, my uncle-in-law was in the military. So it's a long list,
So no wonder you're doing martial arts.
Yeah,
martial
absolutely.
artist.
Yeah. It kind of comes hand in hand, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That there's I think it was called, I don't know what book it was, but the Japanese guy that he was instructed by the commander, the general or whatever, to never give up and to guerrilla warfare in the jungles of the Philippines.
Right.
And he stayed there for like
Oh, for 40 years.
40 years in the jungle.
And then they found him like 40 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
he
remember
like
that.
the only way he left, he's like, no, you're lying.
Right.
And they got the original general. They found him
Right.
and brought him in so he could tell him face to face, hey, the war
Right.
is over.
Right.
It's
And
been
then they
over
would,
for
they would
40
believe
years.
him. Right. Yeah.
And then he went back to Japan, and he's like
Right.
didn't like it. And I think he moved to Brazil even.
Oh, he did.
And
Oh,
then
wow.
he eventually came back to Japan and started teaching like survival, how to survive. You imagine that in the jungles of the Philippines, like
Right.
with nothing.
Right.
I think there's a few guys, and he was only survived
Right. By himself.
by
for 40
himself, and
years.
he would sniper take out people.
Yeah.
Like here and there. They look kind of Japanese. Can you
Right.
imagine that?
Right. And then I remember that. I remember reading
What's
that.
his name? Let's research the Japanese survivor post World War II. It was like 40 years, right?
Yeah. I remember
And did a
the
survival
farmers
school.
there, the Philippine farmers knew about him. Like there's a guy in that mountain.
In the mountain,
shooting
yeah.
at us. And they would stay away from him for decades, you know? Yeah. I mean, that's commitment, right?
And I guess the Japanese guy finally went to go find him. He's like, yeah, there's like a few things. He had like these goals in life.
Right.
He's like to find Bigfoot and then this Japanese guy, you know, the post World War II,
Right.
the survivor.
Right.
Because he's a legend, right?
Right.
And so he went and
Hiro
Hiro
Onoda.
Onoda.
Hiro Onoda.
Say it again.
Hiro
Onoda.
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 Read out his the quick bio.
The Imperial Japanese soldier who hid in the Philippines jungle for 30 years after
30 years after
Wow.
World War II, hid in the jungle.
Right. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the jungles and the guerrilla warfare, right?
Right. Yeah.
Man, so, yeah. That's what.
I don't think people know that. That's weird.
I think it was in that tribe book.
Oh, was
Talked
it?
about it. Yeah, just the sense of like loyalty and your mission, right?
Right. And then never giving up on it. Right. Yeah.
And you have to
Giving up on it 30 years.
Yeah. Living in a cave by yourself in the jungle. That's commitment.
ride or die
Right.
for Japanese emperor.
Right.
I mean, that's what that was. They couldn't even. I think they wanted to. They had to, right? Because the Japanese people are so. It was so ingrained in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure of the whole thing, but like I think they made sure that he had to kind of be aligned with the U.S. and whatever coming in, right? If
Right.
they're going to take over or come into the country,
Right. Right.
for it to be stabilized or whatever,
Right.
something like that, right? They had to like get the emperor aligned with, because he was like a god, right? He was the
Right.
god.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You have speaking of that, we have the reversal shirt on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Representing Japan.
Right. Right.
Yeah, okay. You gotta read this. This is fucking the top one.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So, the most famous Japanese post-World War II survivor in the Philippines
Wow.
was Lieutenant Hiro Onada, who remained in hiding on Lumbang Island for 29 years.
Wow.
After the war's end in 1945, only surrendering in 1974 after his former commander ordered him to. They had to find his commander
Right.
in Japan, bring him there,
Right.
or otherwise he's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
That you're lying.
Right.
Onada and his men refused to believe Japanese surrender was real, seeing leaflets as enemy tricks, and continued to fight and attack local villagers.
Right.
Farmers.
For 29 years.
29 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God. After his formal surrender, Onada eventually returned to Japan and later moved to Brazil
Oh, wow.
before settling back in Japan, where he
Right.
died in 2014.
Wow. Just
10
recent.
yeah, at the age of 91.
Wow. That's longevity.
I want to learn from that guy.
Yeah.
I want to go to his survival school.
Right. How to survive for 29
I
years.
was like a guerrilla fighter. Onada was an intelligence officer and guerrilla tactics coach trained to fight until reinforcements arrived.
Wow.
Obedience to orders. His orders were to never surrender and to continue fighting, a command he followed even after Japan's official surrender on September 2nd, 1945. Living in hiding, he and the other soldiers hid in the jungle on Lumbang Island, continuing their guerrilla campaign and avoiding capture for decades.
Wow.
Why did he not surrender? Belief the war was not over. Duty to obey.
Wow. That's commitment and loyalty right there.
Yeah, I think one of the books I was reading, I think it was the tribe book. Just the loyalty. There's a power in that, right? Of
Right.
being like loyal. Like I think part of and it's not Japanese, but it's like I think the Buddhist monk in Japan.
I'm not familiar, Professor.
I think the different like the monasteries, right? The Zen. I'm not sure. I'm butchering it all, but like to say like the Jiu-Jitsu, right, came from India, like the monasteries, right, to China, then to Japan, right?
Right.
And so I think part of that culture is there, like that loyalty and just being a part of the group and being a part of your your tribe, but your people, right?
Right.
And fighting to the samurai culture, I guess,
Right.
is the thing, the Japanese, right?
Right. No, I think for me, loyalty is one of the biggest principles to live by, right? I mean, I'm in a leadership role now, but even in my civilian life, but even in the military, even my family, right? I mean, all things can go wrong, and they do. There's one thing that I expect is loyalty, right? Because if you don't have that, you don't have anything. Right? I'm loyal to you as a friend. I'm loyal to you as a family member. I'm loyal to you as a group member. Because if you don't have that, you don't have
trust.
You have trust.
And the trust is everything, the foundation of everything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, unless someone does something to me otherwise, I'm gonna be loyal to somebody, right? And the same people. I try to surround myself with people who are loyal. Otherwise, you can't achieve anything.
Yeah.
Right. There's no true friendship there. There's no true connection there. Yeah.
Yeah, loyalty. Why loyalty? Why do you look at it from just your thoughts on loyalty? Why is loyalty important?
Right. So with me, loyalty, right? So because
Being in the leadership position, right?
Right. Yeah, being in a leadership position, because if you're trying to achieve a goal, right? So let's just say, even at work, right? We're in this together, right? I have people who report up to me. We have an initiative, right? We work for this company, right? And of course, I take care of the people that work under me. But without that loyalty, right? If you're just going to go to the competitor, right? If you're just going to go against, what we stand for, right? It goes against what we're trying to achieve, right? In fact, if you look at all the crest, right? Loyalty, courage, respect for police officers, for military, even with companies,
martial
right?
art, yeah,
Martial arts, loyalty is there, right? As long as we're loyal to one another, we can get through this, right? But once you have, in instances where there's issues, or there's disloyalty, or people sometimes become disloyal when they have their own aspirations, right? But you don't have to go behind me, right? I would have taken you there.
Yeah.
I would have taken you there,
Yeah.
and we could have gone there together. Right?
Yeah.
And in fact, you could have even
That's a good point.
succeeded me, right? You want to be king? You write it out with me. I'll teach you whatever I can. When I go off, you will be king. Problem with people is they become disloyal and they forget everything that you've done for them, right? Dude, you're not there. You're not where you are. Without all the guidance, all the learnings you've learned from me. You can just be honest with me, right? And I'll even support you.
Yeah.
I have someone now, and I don't want to call her out, but I have someone on the team now. He said, Gus, I want to do this. I want to work for another organization, and that's not part of what we do in a team. And you know what I told her? Thank you for telling me. I'll introduce you to someone in that organization who's a close friend of mine. You don't have to go around me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's one thing about loyalty too, is because it's almost as if all the guidance, all the graces you receive from the person, you just throw away. All the friendship you just throw away. So if you're
because you spend years, right, with people.
Yeah. So it only shows what kind of person you are.
Bad character.
Yeah. If you can do that to me, you're gonna do it to everybody else. Right? And who wants to be around a person who's like that? I can't trust you.
Yeah.
So I think to me, loyalty is like one of the biggest things. Even with family. And your family's a bit different, because you fight, right?
Yeah. But still, even so.
Yeah.
Those big Armenians are like, ride or die. Like,
Right.
You can fight like crazy, but
Right.
like when it's time, you guys are
Right.
100%.
Right. Yeah. We fight internally behind closed doors, but once we go out that door, you're not going to say anything about me, and I won't say anything about you. Yeah. It's like the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. I feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of right ways to do it. What's where loyalty kind of backfires? What's a good example of that? Like when it doesn't make sense to be loyal, right? Like just blindly being loyal to somebody.
Right. I mean, there's always going to be exceptions, right? So, I mean, we all live by our principles, right? I mean, whether or not you're religious or you're not, you live through a set of principles, right? When it doesn't make sense is when the person that you have a relationship with doesn't align with your core principle, right? And you feel like, okay, well, you know what? That's probably not with me or not in me, right? And so it doesn't align with my morals. So I think there's exceptions there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a very loyal person with whoever I am,
Right.
But then when those things kind of happen, then I guess then you start to. I'm not with that.
Right.
I'm not
right.
with that. I'm with that. It's what they're about,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to agree all the time.
Right.
Right. I mean, because we're
but
not
it's
robots.
super core
Right.
values, right,
Right.
of who you are. I'm like, it doesn't.
Right.
I'm not. That's not who I am.
Right. Right. But you could still be loyal though.
Yeah.
Without
do things the right way.
the right way. You could still be loyal without agreeing to his values.
Correct,
Like,
correct.
hey, you know what? I don't really believe in that, so I'm not with you on that. But I'm not going to be disloyal to our friendship by trying to destroy you or going against this friendship.
Yeah.
Right. I just won't be with you in that journey.
How often have you seen that in jiu-jitsu? You've been with me now since the beginning, right? When I
Right.
first moved to LA.
Right. Right.
And so how often have you seen that?
I think jiu-jitsu is probably the most drama I've ever seen. Right. And
In
obviously,
any field, right?
right. In yeah. I mean, I've seen it happen so many times, right? And again, people do what they need to do. That's fine. And this is not a criticism on them. But it happens like almost every year, almost every other year. There's a group here, there's a group there. Even with the big name teams, right? There's one person wants to make their own team and create their own path, right? But there's a good way of doing it.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Like the Leo Vieira, he told me his story about when he was Alliance, right? Jacare was the his teacher,
Right.
and he still has his picture in his gym.
Right.
And but he told him straight up, like this is like, it was about money actually. They want the Alliance wanted them to compete in the IBJJF,
Right.
not into the other one that made money.
Right.
And a lot of his guys, they wanted to compete in the one that made money.
Right.
They were like, like they needed the money or whatever it was,
Right. Right.
But and I think that was the beginning of that, But he
Right.
he was always straightforward, and he
Right.
honors him. And when we did a podcast, and he talked
Right.
about him, and
Right.
so I think he gave him his coral belt, or
Yeah.
if he's gonna get it, he still promotes him,
Right.
It's like that.
Right. Right. Yeah, jiu-jitsu, it's funny. Happens all the time, right? So many different alliances get broken. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a right
There are
way and a
reason-
wrong way to do
Right.
it,
Right.
Yeah, I think just be straightforward, talk to them,
Right.
say be direct, and it's not an easy conversation
Yeah.
sometimes, right?
Yeah. Right.
But it's the right thing, and I think
Right.
at the end of the day, you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I did my
I did
part.
the right way.
I did it the right way,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
with honor and respect, and
Right.
and,
Right.
and I think that's the right way to do things,
Right. Right.
like long term, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not a sprint. These kinds of things, right?
Right.
Jiu-jitsu, and
Right.
it's a way of life, right?
Right. Can't run away from your history, I mean, these people are going to be around, right? Whether you like it or not. So,
Switching up again. We were talking about Manny Pacquiao, and I don't know. This last week, I ran across this article of Ray Jones Jr. getting his gold medal. He got robbed brutally
During
at the
Olympics.
1988
Yeah.
Olympics
Yeah.
in Seoul, Korea,
right.
against the Korean guy. He completely dominated, and they
Right.
gave the other guy the decision.
Right.
Totally corrupt, right?
Right.
And this guy dominated, didn't give up anything, and
Right.
somehow he got a second place.
Right.
And 30 years later, he came into his, I'm sure there's so many things, right? So
Right.
if he did that, he would dishonor Korea, and
Right.
probably who knows what would happen
Right.
to him or his family.
Right.
But 30 years later, he came in and gave him his
Gold
gave him
medal
that
back.
gold medal.
Yeah. 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 I just saw that story too, just recently. I think that was like a few days ago.
Yeah,
right?
I started sharing.
Yeah.
I was just like, it
Right.
was really, really something else.
Right.
He stopped boxing
Yeah.
after that.
Right.
That was his last boxing match.
Right.
Roy Jones Jr. had his career, of course, world
Right.
champion,
World
multiple time,
champion, right.
one of the greats. But that was his gold medal. I watched it a few times. I don't know why. It really hit me.
Yeah.
And he's like, he gave him think he gave him a silver medal, something like that. But then he gave his gold medal to his mom.
Right.
You know, Roy Jones Jr. He's
Right.
like, that's my mom's. I
Right.
I have it, boom, boom, but I'm gonna give it to my
Give it to
mom.
my mom. Right. Right. Yeah, it's a touching story. You know, it just goes to show you that the guy who won, you know, based on that decision, right? I think it was like living with it.
Well, he
right?
picked Roy Jones Jr. up, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He, like, you know, he's
Like-
he's the
like you
champ.
won. Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
he raised his hand on the
Right,
podium, like
right.
all these different things. But it's
Right.
like, what can he do?
Right.
It's not his fault,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
But he
yeah.
was put there by, you know, by speaking of character and stuff, right?
Right, right. But shows his character, right? Living with that, and after all those years, you know what?
That must
You really
suck, huh?
deserve it, right?
But just having to live with that,
Live
right?
with that,
You
yeah.
didn't do anything. You did.
Right.
It wasn't your fault.
Right, right. Yeah. But he did the right thing.
He did the right
He
thing.
did the right thing. Yeah. Because deep inside, he knew he didn't win it. Yeah.
30 years later,
Yeah.
it's like, I want to do an interview with Roy Jones. He's like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
That's the next guest, Professor.
Who's
Roy
that?
Jones.
Oh man, I'd love to.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to talk to him.
Right?
You know, he's an interesting guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Pensacola, Florida.
yeah. One of the greatest. One of the greatest.
Did you watch him and Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Did you watch it? No. Oh, man, that was Mike Tyson's comeback, right?
Yeah. I think we watched it together.
Oh yeah, at Jeanette's house.
At Jeanette's
okay,
house.
there we go. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That, come on, man. Mike Tyson
Yeah.
fighting Roy Jones Jr.
Right.
And you know, like Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson.
Right.
He's like 60 years old, right?
Right.
And he's like, afterward, Roy Jones Jr. was like, man, like, you know, kind of like, they were like, oh, how did you feel? This and
Right.
that. Like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then after they interviewed Mike Tyson, he's like, what about me?
Right.
I
No
was-
one's asking me. I was in the fight too. Right.
like, you know, like, man, what about me? I was scared too. I don't want to get knocked out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody just assumes that he's just a savage. I mean, all those lines after the fights and
Right.
before the fights.
Right.
It's like
Right.
Mike Tyson. I mean, you grew up in those times, right? The 80s and
The
that. Like, he was
80s,
such
yeah.
an icon, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, watching all these knockouts, you know, 1 round knockouts, right?
Next fight.
Is that gonna happen? Is it Mayweather? Mayweather. Speaking of Mayweather, right?
Who is it?
Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Mike Tyson versus Mayweather.
As in Floyd Mayweather. I don't even know how that's gonna happen.
He's turning 70.
Yeah, and there's only like a 50-pound, 100-pound difference.
People wanted to see the was the Jake Paul when he had that when
The
he had,
Jake Paul.
in the locker room when his butt was out. Did you see?
Yeah. with his jock strap, right? Yeah. So is that gonna happen? Mayweather Tyson? Oh,
What-
they have
what-
a date. They signed
October
I don't know when, but 2026.
2026. I don't know. I don't want to see Mike Tyson fight
Right.
anymore.
it. Right.
But listen, he's still Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
What's that? Exhibition.
It's
But still,
exhibition,
you know,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, it's exhibition. What does that mean?
Mayweather's fast though. Mayweather's still fast. I'm a big Mayweather fan.
Oh, it's one of the.
I think
Greatest of
Mayweather.
all time, you know?
I'm gonna put this on camera. Mayweather's the greatest boxer ever. There, I said it. Yeah.
There's. What's his record? 40? Is it 50? 50-0?
50-0.
50-0.
Yeah.
You can hate on him. You can
Right.
say what you want, but
Right.
the bottom line is he delivered
He
again
delivered,
and again
yeah.
and again
Yeah.
and again.
Right. People say he doesn't want to stand, stand up and toe to toe. Well, you already know that's his game. It's up to you to shut it down. You can't shut it down, then he won, right? Yeah.
You know, people say that about UFC fighters. Like, oh, this is boring. The guy's holding him. Why you mad at the guy that's holding him?
Right.
Like Hamzat, right? Like
Yeah.
completely dominating him.
They can't get up, right? Who can't
his
sprawl,
problem.
right? Yeah, and defend the takedown.
It's
Yeah.
like that's the way to fight, right?
Yeah,
Not
right.
go toe to toe.
Everybody's
Right.
moving the wrong guy.
Right.
Those are the rules, right?
Yeah,
And you figure out
yeah.
the best way, the most efficient way to
Right.
win.
Right.
And that's He can stop the takedown.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah.
the takedown or get up to your feet.
Right, right. You know his game. It's up to you. Have to shut it down to win.
And that's domination.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. You
Right.
do it.
Right.
Man, a lot of years, a lot of fights, right? Did you think UFC was gonna get as big as it's gotten?
I remember
When he first started
watching the
watching it?
first one, 1994. That was on like cable.
Cable. Yeah. Cable pay-per-view,
Cable
right?
pay-per-view. Yeah. And then it kind of disappeared a bit, you
Went
know.
to the Blockbuster
Right.
VHS tapes,
VHS
right?
tapes, you know, I would go to Blockbuster and rent it, right?
Yeah.
You have to wait for it. No, I didn't think it was gonna get this big, right? Global. But yeah, I remember in the early years, I used to be a big Tito Ortiz fan. Tito Ortiz and who's that guy who is a wrestler?
Did you see the when he fought Chael Sonnen?
Oh, was that the last one?
Well, they actually, like last weekend, Chael Sonnen, he announced, I believe, this Real American Freestyle Wrestling event in in Ohio or something, and then he flew in the next day to do this CGI that Craig Jones, right?
Right,
and
right.
do the super
Right.
match, whatever, with Craig Jones.
With Craig Jones.
No, but I was talking about, so Tito Ortiz got on stage and started talking something about Chael Sonnen, right? Because he's
Right.
he's a entertainer, right?
Right.
No, that they fought at Bellator years ago.
Yeah.
And then,
I remember.
because Tito was with Jenna Jameson, right? The porn star.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, every place you get is with your mouth, something like that. And then Chael Sonnen pauses and he says, you know what? The only person that I know that gets paid for their mouth is your wife, or your wife.
Is your wife. That's a good comeback.
And then Tito Ortiz like, no, you didn't just say that.
Right. Yeah.
Just shut him down. You've seen that, right?
No. I heard about it. I never saw.
Have you seen it?
No.
Dude, like just destroyed without hesitation.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just funny. It's funny. He was talking about just the Tito Ortiz, like how he's Tito Ortiz. Yeah, but he's one of the pioneers, right?
Yeah,
From MMA, and he was in that era, right, when Spike TV started to come out. Chuck Liddell,
right? With Ken Shamrock, his wars with Frank Shamrock. Yeah. Big Tito Ortiz fan, the Huntington Beach bad boy.
Yeah. Yeah, so UFC's blown up, not the new, and it's blowing up, right?
Right.
And I think with that comes the growth of jiu-jitsu too.
Right.
Which I think is good for society.
Right.
And I think the way with the world is going with technology and just all the different things.
Right. Yeah, I think jiu-jitsu at this point is probably the biggest sport, martial art, right?
I thought because wrestling's been around for a long time, and maybe I'm wrong, but I was looking at the numbers, like flow wrestling, flow grappling, and man, jiu-jitsu is bigger.
Yeah.
And it's just still such a new thing, right?
Right. Relatively new compared to others. They've been around for
and then
a
like
long
wrestling
time.
too, right? It's like you wrestle in whatever, mostly like kid and high school and college maybe, right?
Right.
And then what?
Yeah, and it ends right there.
But with jiu-jitsu, like we keep going, right? Like
right.
master with 4 or 5, 6, whatever. I mean, but it's a way of life, right?
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing, right? With jiu-jitsu. What about for you? What do you think the biggest thing is?
In terms of physical or
just Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like training Brazilian jiu-jitsu. What's the biggest thing that it's given you? Just thinking about everything.
And thinking about everything. Well, first of all, I think part of it is because you said it's like a lifestyle, right? I was talking to a friend, longtime family friend, and he was asking if I still roll, right? And how long I've been rolling. I said, yeah, I do. And he said, I have a cousin who's still also been rolling. He's in his late 40s, right?
Late 40s.
It's a lot of things. So I think for me, it's both mental and physical, right? It's a release mentally, It relieves the stress. It's part physical activity. It's the best exercise, right? I mean, I could go on a treadmill or run for 5 miles, and it's not the same.
That's the same.
It's not the same. I mean, I could roll for half an hour and get a bigger workout, a more strenuous workout than getting on a treadmill for a full hour. Secondly, it's you know it's the release in terms of just the stress level, right? Biggest thing for me was just all those things, right? It's the camaraderie, it's the humility, right? Humility, I think, is the biggest takeaway for me, right? Because when I was younger, watching the UFCs, right?
Kevin did like a little video yesterday, and he was
Right.
talking to me about what's the hardest thing for you in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And at this point in my life, it's like I'm not showing up. It's what I
Right.
do, right? But
Right.
I think just the humility it gives
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
like losing, right? Having to
Right.
deal with that, and it makes you a better person because of it.
Right. Yeah, because a lot of people, I have friends who don't train, right? And they watch videos and and they think they could fight. Everyone in the gym thinks they can fight,
Right.
But it's not the same once
You go to the weightlifting gym, right?
You know,
And
like
all these
weightlifting
guys
games,
that,
right?
Lifting weights,
Right.
and they have no idea.
Right. And then once you grapple with someone, it's different, right? I mean, you're trying to survive. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you do. You're in it, and you're going to roll with this person. Someone's always going to be faster. Someone's always going to be stronger. You leave your ego at the door, and gives you that balance in life, right? It gives you a perspective, right? I think 2 weeks ago I rolled with David. He's a coach here, Big David.
Yeah.
It's like what 260 pounds. So I picked him. I typically pick my rolls, but I picked him, and I couldn't get away from his top pressure. But it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's humility, It's respecting everybody.
Staying calm and
Staying calm and
figure this out. Am I going to give up, or am I going to figure this out?
Right, and just surviving there, and using your technique, see if you can negate the weight difference, right? And the technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk about camaraderie, and I have a memory of us going to Malibu and even having whose birthday was that?
It was Robert Torres' birthday,
with
yeah.
Patrick Santos.
With Patrick
Rest
Santos,
in peace.
Yeah.
Robert, you did Chris go that night?
Who else was there? I think Chris was there.
Yeah, Edith and
Edith was
Ali.
there. I know Robert was there. Yeah. And definitely Patrick and his wife at that time.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian was there. Brian Gregerson.
That's
and
right.
his
That's
wife.
right. Brian Gregerson.
I laugh because Brian doesn't drink, remember?
Doesn't what?
And he doesn't drink.
Doesn't drink, yeah.
And then we were taking shots, and he was so, I don't want to take a shot. But yeah, Brian was there with his wife. Yeah.
It's been a lot of years. It's been a few years, right? With all of us being together and
Right.
and people like I think Kevin was asking me like James, Uloth, you, Encino, but you were like, yeah, you followed the different places that I went to before
Right.
Burbank was even open.
Yeah. And I'm still, speaking of camaraderie, Raul Baragan.
Yeah.
I still stay in touch
Raul,
with him. Yeah. Shakib. And all those guys, I mean, stay in touch with them through social media, message them.
Yeah.
Willie Torres, remember Willie?
Yeah.
Willie works with my wife, with Ali,
Oh.
at Holy Cross, right? So it's the friendships you develop on the mat. I think my wife was, me and Ali was talking about this, right? Because we have we're pretty active at church, right? They go, oh, you're always with your with your gym friends, right? And we tell them it's not our gym friends, it's we just met at the gym, right? But we hang out with them because we have so many things in common, right? It's beyond just the gym. I mean, it's not just jiu-jitsu, because if it's just jiu-jitsu, I'm not gonna hang out with you outside of the gym.
Yeah.
But we share the same values. We like the common interests, right? Gym is just a meeting place, right? And some people, they don't understand that, But yeah. I mean, I've been in touch with people that I started before jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
2004. I still stay in touch with some of those guys.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to have Ali on the mat with you?
You know, it took a while. It took a while because I had to convince her. You know, I had to convince her to get into some sort of combat sports, right? So because she just didn't want it, and then I got her into Muay Thai first. She did that for 3 years, and then I finally convinced her to Jiu-Jitsu. You know, and there's something special about having your spouse on the mats. You know, and especially I started first, and to have her, you know, go through the same journey, right? So, you know, because there's two things, you know, we know a lot of couples that the guy golfs and the spouse does something else, right? And then they have dinner together, right? But they don't have common interest. But having my wife here in the gym with me, it just strengthens another bond, right? That we share. Our love for BJJ, our love for the mats. That's one. Secondly, is seeing her go through the same journey I did, right? And to me, it's just as rewarding as when I got my black belt, just to see her go through the journey. You know, whatever it takes, decades, whatever. Time is not being calculated, but just seeing her to go through that journey and seeing her be passionate about the sport. You know.
Sharing the time together, the reality together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's here more than I am now because my job's in Orange County. But you know, and I just, hey, did you go to the gym today? She always, she gets annoyed. Babe, you got to go to noon class today. Okay, you got to noon class. You got to at least do 2 or 3 noon classes a week. You know, that's the only way you get better. And she, you know, she throws a pillow at me. But at the end, that was my journey. You know, I had to be consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember like when you first started doing jiu-jitsu, how many females were in the gym compared to now?
One. You'd be lucky if you see 1 or 2, right? But now, I mean, there's so many. I mean, we have women's classes here. We have 2 women's classes here. I mean, I think it's a little bit, you know, a lot of women have gone beyond that, right? Because I think there was a time there where, do I want to roll with other guys, right? And but I think the mentality around grappling has changed, and more women are into the sport. I mean, the top athletes are women.
Yeah.
Even in combat sports, you know, UFC and wrestling. You know, I mean, I love watching women fight because it's go for it, right? But to your point, there's a lot more women now. You know, I mean, you can see here 5, 10 women on the mats.
Yeah. But do you think it's important to have, you know, a good environment, or also having a lot of women in the group to train with? Why do you think why do you think it helps?
You know, I think it helps because it also creates a space for them, right? Like they're not the only woman there, so they're having you know, they share this experience and journey. Like, oh wait, you know what? If that woman can do it, and she's 4'11", she's only 120 pounds, I can do it, right? Mm-hmm. So it creates a great space for them. But I think it's also important that they were able to cross train between, you know, grappling with women, rolling with women, and rolling with men.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Man, here we go, huh? It's been another year, 25 years of legacy in the New Mexico days. Yeah. And you're one of the key just guys, the constants, right? Since I started teaching here in LA. Right. Back in, was it 2009? 2009.
For Encino, but I think Encino. 8 for Pasadena.
The city of Tong, the city of Tong, the Muay Thai gym. Akko, Akko was there. Right. Yeah, you and Akko kind of the OGs, and really appreciate you as a person, as a friend, a loyal friend.
Thank you, Professor.
Student. Yeah. And really proud to be on this journey together. After all these years.
And same here, Professor. You know, thank you for your guidance and just seeing you as one of my role models and as a friend. You know, like I said, loyalty, right? Yeah. Proud to be here.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.